Party time. 3, 2, 1. We're ready.
What's up, you guys, and welcome to another episode of the Gamerz Realm. We are on episode 39, so it's kind of crazy to think, we've started so far, and we're at episode 39 now. But welcome, you guys. Today we have an awesome YouTuber, awesome guy here. But before we get to him, we want to introduce the rest of our crew. As you guys know, my name is KOTETSU, and we got Mr. Switch here.
What's up, guys?
Hello. We got Chichuki.
Yo, what is up, everybody?
ATARI X with the cool guy shades there. Check him out. Check him out. And we have another cool guy who's chilling in space with us right now, AWAKENBAKON.
What's up, guys?
And like I said before, we have an awesome guest here, awesome YouTuber who has changed the dynamic of his channel and has, skyrocketed. We've all seen that, and we all show him love. Give it up to BlackPKMNTrainer.
What's going on, guys?
So thank you for coming, man. We do appreciate that. I wanted to host this because, you are one of my good friends, and I am really happy to see where you're at with your content. And, I know most of us know about you and your origin story, but for those who are watching, for those who are listening, could you give us a little bit of your origin story and, with that, including your YouTube and your success so far?
Yes. So, oh man, YouTube. So back in 2018, February 2nd, 2018 to be exact, I lost my job, and I was kind of defeated. Didn't have anything to do. So, once I lost my job, about a month or two after I lost my job, I built my first computer. It was a really simple trash computer, and I was like, yes, I built a computer. It's working. Let's get on YouTube. And it was kind of spontaneous. So I was like, let's get on YouTube. Let's have some fun. And so I wasn't streaming quite yet, but I was doing video uploads. So I was uploading videos such as I was doing Final Fantasy VII. Final Fantasy VII was the first game I played through on YouTube, and I was uploading videos and I was commentating over them. And they weren't getting anywhere, but I was getting maybe 2 or 3, 4 views every here and there. And so I was doing that for a while. I uploaded a couple of Doom videos and just getting some content on there. And then around the time I got married in 2018, around June, I picked up a new CPU for my computer. I got the 2700X, which at the time was one of the best CPUs you can have for streaming. And it was at the time where AMD wasn't really selling out like they are now. So as soon as it came out, I was able to pick it up, no problem. And that's when I started streaming, is when I got a better CPU in my rig. And I think the first game I remember streaming is Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2. And I streamed it all the way through. That was the only thing I was streaming. I streamed it all the way through until I beat the game and I beat the DLC. And that's how I got a lot of my popularity at first, was playing Xenoverse 2. And at the time, I didn't understand that a lot of people were coming to me to watch me because I was playing Xenoverse 2. And there was a lot of Dragon Ball fans. And the moment I saw playing Xenoverse 2 and decided to go in a different direction to play another game, I don't remember what it was at the time. I lost a lot of viewership around that time. And I didn't realize what was happening. I just thought I started sucking again. I thought YouTube was hurting small content creators. But what really happened was that I lost my niche and I went somewhere else. And then after that, I just started streaming a bunch of random games that came out. Devil May Cry 5. I streamed Spider-Man at some point. I also did a couple of unboxing videos. I'm a fan of computer tech. I did unboxing videos of the RTX 2080 when it first came out. I did a couple of headsets. I did 3 computer builds on my channel. All those videos are still up there. And yeah. Oh, another thing. So back in 2016, before I started streaming, I lost another job back then. and I did a video of me modifying my car. So that's my very, very, very first YouTube video on YouTube, and it's still there. So if you guys want to, go ahead and check that out. But it's definitely not the same topic as everything else that's on my channel. So we're gonna fast forward a little bit more. You know, we went through Super Smash Bros. Came out. I streamed that a couple of times. Streamed Mario Kart, and then Pokemon came out in like November. Now around the time Pokemon came out, I was still known as Black Ass Gamer for like the first couple of months. And so like I was I started my Pokemon streams by doing a shiny hunt with Vulpix. Vulpix was one of my favorite Gen 1 Pokemon. And got that in about 650 encounters. Streamed it, got the reaction. It was my first shiny reaction that I had that was live. And it was the one that I reposted that got the most views. So it kind of started with Vulpix. And after that, I did some more shiny hunts. And I don't remember if it was around January of this year or February of this year, but around that time is when I rebranded myself to BlackPKMNTrainer. And when I rebranded myself, when I focused in my niche, that's when I started noticing like I'm getting the same viewers, the same people coming through. I'm getting more views because people are like, you know, they can come to me and essentially always see the same content. And from there, I just kind of blew up. I started going on to a lot of other PokeTubers, just kind of talking, just meeting people, and then people started coming through from other channels, and here I am now. Got monetized in October. Nice. It was a huge milestone. It was something I never thought was going to happen. Getting the subscribers, that part wasn't hard. It was the hours, and there was one point like where I was like streaming 3 times a day so I can get to where I need to get to, and just being able to make that milestone was pretty awesome.
I love the term PokeTubers.
PokeTubers.
That's my favorite word now.
And like here's the thing, like I don't even know where the term came from. Like I'm not sure like if it's something I started using or if I saw on Twitter and I just picked it up and like it just kind of came out. But yeah, there's a ton of PokeTubers out there. I'm like looking at YouTube right now, and like 3 of my PokeTuber friends are streaming right now. And like that's another thing I like. That's another thing I like about it. Since like I focused in on the niche, it's like I joined a community at the same time of like a bunch of other Pokemon YouTubers and gotten to know them. And you know, we back each other up. You know, it's been fun. It's been a fun ride being strictly streaming Pokemon. Now I haven't streamed in a while though, and the reason why is because I got sidetracked with a bunch of other games that came out. Or not came out, but it's a couple other games that I was revisiting. I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with the Dark Cloud series, one of my favorite RPG series on the PlayStation 2. So I've been playing that, and that kind of like took my time because Dark Cloud is like a game that it takes a while to get through one dungeon. Like it could take you like 5 to 10 hours, depending on like how much time and how thorough you want to be in each dungeon that you go through. But anyways, yeah, I haven't been live in a minute. I try to get on at least once a week. So that's kind of where I'm at right now.
Dark Cloud. When you say that, what are you talking about? The PS1 game or
it's a
PS2.
PS2.
PS2 game.
Okay, I love that
title,
game.
yeah.
I love that game.
It's oh god, dude. I played it over so many times since it came out, and like the fact that it came out on the PS4. Like on their
That's
PS2.
right, they did.
It's like I've been playing it so much more lately, and I just like playing it over and over again because I just think the game's awesome.
Oh, I would totally play it again if I could get my hands on it. I'd played 1 and 2 like religiously back in the day. It was great. It was the first game that kind of had the the dungeon crawler / like building dynamic to it, and it was different for the time.
It was awesome, and like I feel like since I played it so many times, the game itself is very easy to me because like I know like where the ins and outs now. I know like how to build up my weapons faster and how to be efficient going through dungeons and whatnot. That's one game I'm still trying to platinum on the PS2, or sorry, on the PS4, because they got trophies on the PS4. So I'm trying to platinum that right now.
Yeah, PS2. Sorry about that.
But yeah, man, like I started watching you. Like, I don't even know how and it's funny because I have a lot of people that do YouTube that I'm friends with. And it's like years later, I look back, I'm like, I don't even know how I fell into this person. Like I think I met you for the first time. I think it was through Mr. Switch because he had that huge group on Twitter. And and I think you were streaming Spider-Man. I think I remember you streaming Spider-Man, and I was watching that, and I remember we were kind of talking about Spider-Man and you going through that, and I remember you streaming, you know, a lot of RPGs, and then when you found Pokemon, it's just like everything just like changed, and and people think like it's easy to find a niche. It really isn't, because it's just like you said, when you were doing Dragon Ball Z Xenoverse 2, and then like when you stopped playing that and you started doing something else, it's like everyone's like, I'm only here to watch Dragon Ball Z. I don't want to see you doing anything else. And I think as a YouTuber, that's so hard, because especially if you want to be someone who's not, for me, like I didn't want to be someone doing the same thing, but it's hard to not do that, because that's how most of the people that came to your channel watch your stuff. So the fact that you found the thing that is so constant and just continues to drive you, that's like definitely an inspiring thing for a lot of people who are trying to find their niche and find the thing that works for them in this very saturated very saturated business, very saturated
soaked up.
Yeah, so but that's cool. It's so hard.
You guys bring up a good point though, because I mean, you guys say it's a very saturated business. Hell yeah, it is. Like there's so many YouTubers out there. Like I feel like knowing you guys, like I feel like I know everybody, but the chances are I know like maybe 0.005 of the total YouTubers that are out there that are like constantly streaming. So like the YouTube community, like I'm including Twitch and Facebook gaming as well. The community is huge. There's so many people you can connect with. And like the one thing that you like when you're on here and you're out here making content, you just can't stop. You have to keep going. You have to keep posting videos, because that's how people find you. That's how you connect with other people. And
it's you can't take a vacation.
Exactly.
100%. It's not even when you say, you know, you got to find your niche, you know, that's the one thing everybody needs to find. People especially on Twitch, which is, you know, what I do. They call themselves variety streamers, that they stream all kinds of different games, but that is a lie. You know, they find their hole, they find their niche, and they go to it. That's the only way you can do it. You know, I kind of fell into a survival horror niche, you know, so a lot of my people come to see that. So when I switch it up to say Genshin Impact or something like that, the people, they come by and they're like, what is this anime stuff? And then they're out. So it's like you have to keep on it, and you have to find what the people who, you know, subscribe to you and follow you like, you know, you can't really deviate from it unless it's a slow burn or something, you know, maybe some kind of slow transition.
Right. Yeah. And it's like sometimes I do verge off a little bit. Sometimes like I will play like a little bit of Mario Kart here, or like I'll play another game, but like at the same time, you know, Pokemon is still Nintendo. So there's like a lot of people who play Pokemon, chances are they still play, you know, Mario Kart, Smash Bros. Like on my Discord, like that's all we were talking about is, you know, the Sephiroth reveal. And like when Steve came out, that's all we talked about was the Steve reveal.
Yeah.
So like, you know,
spoilers. No, I already knew.
And like, if you didn't sign on to Facebook and that was the first thing you saw,
forget that. Twitter, man. Twitter.
If you're
on my Twitter, I see ding, 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 ding. And it's like Sephiroth. I'm like, oh god, yeah, no, thank God I saw it, because I would have killed it for me if I didn't watch that Game Show Awards. Dude, it's so hard to like ask you a question because I know much about your Pokemon.
Somebody had a question in there.
Yeah, the Realm Scout one.
Who has okay. The Realm 14 says, what's your favorite Pokemon game?
What is my favorite Pokemon game? Oh, Generation 3 is my favorite generation. Hands down. Generation 3, I put in so much time into Generation 3. So Ruby and Sapphire, let me be specific. Ruby and Sapphire, I spent a lot of time on Ruby and Sapphire. I spent a lot of time on Leaf Green and Fire Red as well. So I have recently played Sun and Moon. I was talking to KOTETSU about this a couple of months ago, like how I couldn't get into Pokemon Sun and Moon because of Team Skull and my negative view about them. After I got past like my view of Team School, I realized how good Pokemon Sun and Moon was, and I actually thought it was actually one of the best Pokemon games I ever played was Pokemon Sun and Moon.
That's interesting.
But yeah, Generation 3, Ruby and Sapphire. I've gotten into a lot of local neighborhood battles with those games. When you had to, back in the day before Wi-Fi, you had to use a Game Boy Advance link to connect the two Game Boys.
The cable's always faulty, all the time.
You got a short in it, or kind of shorted out right at there at where it plugged in, and you were done. You had to get a new one or give it up.
Right.
Exactly.
And back then, I felt like I was untouchable because I was actually one of the best Pokemon battlers. And then after Generation 3, after Ruby and Sapphire, I took a big break. And then I came back 10 to 12 years later with 15 years. No, 12 years. 12 years later, I came back with Pokemon X and Y.
I think we talked about that too, because we both kind of had the same theory. Where we're like, yo, Pokemon in 3D, what? And then that's how I felt. That's how I felt. Because I stopped playing Pokemon after Emerald. I stopped playing Pokemon because I kind of essentially felt it was the same game with this new Pokemon. And then when I first got my 3DS, and I was like, wait a minute, this is Pokemon in 3D? What? Okay, which version do I get? And then I forgot what version I ended up getting, but I think it was one with Xerneas. I think I got the one with just X, but
That's X.
Yep.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm gonna let whoever else has any more questions. I know much about this guy, so I can't stump you with any questions because you already know. Because I already know what your answer is probably going to be. So I'm going to turn it over to the rest of the guys here if they have anything for you.
And yeah, guys, I'm an open book. I play a lot more than Pokemon. Pokemon is one of my favorite series, but I do play other games as well. So feel free to ask me.
All right, I got one for you. Favorite console of all time?
It's between the PS2 and Xbox 360.
Good choices.
Which ones? No.
Yeah, that was mine. When I got the 360, I've been Xbox ever since. Well, I got the first Xbox, and then I went 360, and that was out for. God, it seemed like the 360 was. What was it? 2005.
And then it stopped in like 2013.
13.
I want to say it had the same shelf life as the Wii. The Wii was out for a long time too before we got the Wii U. So I think they kind of shared that kind of.
Was it out as long as the 360 though? I think it came out a little bit later. Didn't it?
It came out about a year or two later.
Yeah, okay. But I mean, like the run. Like we had the Wii U. We had the Wii U for a while. I mean, the Wii for a while before we got the Wii U, and the Wii U had like a very short shelf life before we ended up getting the Switch.
I'll be honest with you guys. I'm one of the group of people who got the Wii U after the Switch released.
Well, I understand that. I understand that.
And we all know what the reason is because of the Breath of the Wild.
I almost did that, and because before I found out how much the Switch cost, I was like, wait, the Switch costs just as much as the Wii U. I might as well get a Switch, and that's what I did.
So you're a big Zelda fan. Tell me about your love for Zelda.
Oh man, one of the first games I ever beat was A Link to the Past. Let's start there.
Yeah,
A Link to the Past was one of the very first games that I beat, and there's been a bunch of Super Nintendo games that I played. But A Link to the Past I was super determined to beat it because like when I was younger, like when I was like 3 or 4, I used to watch my brother play it, and I was like, I really want to play this game one day. But like I always ended up like going in circles whenever I did play. Like, okay, here's the first dungeon, but where do I go to get to the second dungeon? I just kept going around in circles and circles and circles. Like it took me like a year to beat it for the first time. And I played it again, and I played it again, and I played it again. And then Ocarina of Time came out, which, by the way, Ocarina of Time is not my favorite Zelda game. I'm going to lay that out there right now. It's a good one, not my favorite. But either way, Ocarina of Time was an amazing game as well. Majora's Mask, amazing game as well. But my favorite Zelda game of all time, and you guys are going to be surprised by this, is Twilight Princess.
Oh, my God. No.
I'm
that's
right
one of my
you.
favorites.
I'm right there with you. I love Twilight Princess. It's how dark it was. I love Twilight.
That's why I loved it. Like I felt like it was.
I want to switch one.
I feel like it was an amazing Zelda game, and like I liked how they painted Ganon, because I feel like they painted Ganon perfectly. The way they designed him, his personality, and like how he was manipulating everything in the behind the scenes. Like that was the best Ganon of all time, in my opinion.
I like how everybody we talk to about Zelda games from the Ocarina of Time on, they always skip over Mask of Majora. Like
So let me tell you about Majora's Mask. I have nothing
Majora's
against the game. I thought it was actually a pretty good game. I kind of bundled it with Ocarina of Time. I thought it was a pretty good game. I liked how each mask that you got in Majora's Mask gave you a different story. Like it affected your ending in a way. And my favorite part about Majora's Mask is doing that side quest to get the mask about the couple who were getting married, about how there's a girl who owned the hotel and she's getting ready to marry someone, but that person got put under a spell and turned into a kid. And I thought all of that was cool. I didn't really enjoy the main story that much.
That's the problem. You had with most people that I talked to, you had that 7-day time period and then it repeated and you had to do kind of do it the same but different over again. And I'm about to have to turn in my video gamer card because I just called it the Mask of Majora. So
you know what? I know what game you're talking about, but when I picture that game, I picture Skull Kid, and I almost said, "Oh, Skull Kid game, Zelda game, like what?"
Skull Kid
so
game.
I know nothing about Majora's Mask, so that tells you where my Zelda knowledge is at.
I mean, I played it, but I'm kind of with you that it kind of just gets bundled in with Ocarina of Time, because it looked very much the same. It was just a continuation, I guess, of that story, or not really, but sort of. It's what it felt like.
Wasn't one of the best parts of Twilight Princess was the final battle at the castle. Was just that battle alone before you even got to Ganon was just one of the most amazing experiences. Like when I'm doing that in Breath of the Wild, I love when I get to go into Hyrule Castle. You get to do that in Calamity. It's just like the difference in timing, but still when I played it in Twilight Princess, it was just one of the best fighting sequences in Zelda I've ever played.
I feel like I like Hyrule Castle better in Twilight Princess than I do in Breath of the Wild. And the reason why is because when you're going through the Breath of the Wild, it's more like you're storming the palace almost. It's like, there's cannons everywhere. Like everybody at every corner is trying to kill you. As compared to when you're going through Twilight Princess, it's almost like a scary video game in a way, because you enter, when you first enter the castle, because it's the last dungeon of the whole game, you enter the castle and it's like nobody's there. And all you hear is rain. And it's you don't it's kind of eerie and terrifying in a way. And I loved it. And I loved how as you progress through the dungeon, the soundtrack or the song changes as you progress through, as you get higher and closer to Ganon. So I love the Hyrule Castle and Twilight Princess. And I also like that they brought back the Temple of Time. That was pretty good, because I think Twilight Princess brought back the Temple of Time to give us something that they should have gave us in the Ocarina of Time, which was an actual Temple of Time dungeon. So I thought that was cool.
Sorry, X, I need something from you. I need Twilight Princess modded, please. Thank you.
Got it.
Yes, please.
Atari X, I have a question to ask you.
Sure.
You said you're into modding. What kind of mods did you do?
Dude, I've done soft modding, like the original Xbox. Back in the day, I had a Matrix mod chip, and I put that thing in, and then I was able to put in a IDE hard drive, and so I put a 160 gig hard drive, and I was able to run MAME, Sega Master CD, a bunch of consoles. That was actually one of my favorites, because I could do basically original Xbox was a PC, and I had probably thousands of games on that system.
Okay.
But I also do other moddings. I talk about the GBS control. This is one of my newest thing. I take an Arduino.
I got my first Raspberry Pi from him.
Yeah,
Jealous.
Raspberry Pis I do. But yeah, these things are cool for the retro gaming. So if you have like a Super Nintendos can do RGB, and the problem is with modern TVs, you can only do like 240p. So like when you hook it up to your TV, the signals are screwed up. So you need an external scaler. The problem is you're paying like $200 for an OSSC, about $500 for a FrameMeister, and a GBS control, $21. And this thing here can do pretty much the same as an OSSC, and it outperforms the FrameMeister in basically like changing video quality from 480p to 240p. So this thing's a badass little device. So that's what I'm going to be pushing on for the next few months.
So I want to show you guys something now that you brought that up. Have you guys ever seen this before?
Looks like a USB drive to me.
Well, it is. Yeah, there's that.
Okay.
Looks like a Super Mario block.
Super simple. Let's be as super simple as possible. It looks like a USB drive to me. Or no, I'm sorry. It looks like a bricked. Looks like a bricked
Mario
USB drive to me.
So this is an 8-bit do, and what it does is that you hook this up to your Switch, and you can use any controller or almost any controller.
I heard about
wireless.
that.
Oh, nice.
I heard about that.
Really?
So like ever since I bought this, I haven't been using my Pro controller.
I heard about that.
Can I use my PS5 controller on my Switch?
All day.
That answers my question.
I need one of those.
And like that's what I've been using. And honestly, I haven't used the Pro controller again because I love the PS5 controller. It's one of the best controllers I had since the 360 controller. So I have a lot of respect for the 360 controller, by the way. And the PS5 controller is the one that gets closest to match it. Right. So like I think like my most recent stream, I used the PS5 controller on my Pokemon stream, and I thought it was awesome. And like the controller itself adjusts, because you know how traditionally on the Switch controller, your A button's like on the right hand side and your B button is on the bottom. So like, but on the PS5, you know, your X button, which is generally your confirm button, is on the bottom, and your cancel button's on the right. Well, on the Switch, there's two things you can do. You can map out your controls so that you can switch the buttons around, or you can just use the circle button as the A button and the X button as a B button. So I thought it was really cool. I was super excited about it, and like I've been shiny hunting with it recently. So I'm actually going through a shiny hunting drought right now because I still play a lot of Pokemon on the side, and I'm shiny hunting for some other Pokemon, but I haven't gotten any in like a couple weeks since I got my Ho-Oh.
That's the one thing that I have a hard time with when I play so much, Xbox for such a long period of time, and then I switch over to the Switch to play something there. It's getting used to the freaking X button on the bottom and then the A button off to the side. You know, I'm sure if you play Switch as your main console all the time, it's just second nature. But I always have to retrain myself and get used to that.
Exactly. It sucks, dude. It's like because between the Xbox and the PlayStation, you know, there's not that much of a transition. Like the layouts generally almost the same, with the exception of the joysticks being in different places. With almost when you go to almost any other Nintendo console, the layout's going to be completely different.
Yeah, true.
It's like going from an Xbox controller to an N64 controller.
Well, that's just like two different countries right there.
Right?
No, that's like two different countries right there.
It's like, I do the Raspberry Pis, and for Nintendo, what sucks is the layouts for the buttons. A and B is completely opposite. So playing Punch Out, oh my god, I'm trying to hit them with the left and using the right, so it's completely backwards. But other than that, man, I love the 360 controller for the Pi. It just does like everything I need to do. But
I always like the Xbox controllers. They just feel better in my hand. You know, it's like
they really do.
Yeah, they're just kind of heavier. They fit just right. You know, it's like I don't have a Pro controller for the Nintendo. I have the holster for the Joy-Cons that you put together to make a controller.
And I just had to test them out. The Xbox controller, at least the Xbox One controller, is a little bit heavier than the PlayStation controller. At least the new one. But I like the Xbox controller too. I mean, I feel like I'm so used to it. Xbox controller got me through high school for the most part.
Mhm.
I actually want to answer a question that Mark had. He's asked if there's any Halo fans.
I saw that too. I was gonna ask that.
Mark, I am a big Halo fan. I played Halo religiously when I was in high school, dude. And then I got into a relationship and I stopped playing Halos, and like I just let my first person shooter skill as a whole fall apart. So I'm not as good at Halo as I used to be. But I started playing again on the computer, and I'm enjoying it very well. I'm going through the game just before I get back into multiplayer again. But Halo is actually one of my favorite games of all time. At least the original Halos. I wouldn't go anything past 4.
The same, and I wouldn't go anything past 4. That's exactly 1 through 4. That includes Reach and ODST. You know, are really just my favorite games of all, especially when it comes to first-person shooters.
You know,
Halo
people
got me
hated on
back-
ODST. People hated on ODST. I thought it was good
Really?
too.
You know,
I thought
because
because you couldn't use it wasn't based on the Spartans. It was based on a random
Right.
soldier. So
And you didn't have
Spartans.
you didn't have Master Chief and his
Yeah.
magic life recovery. You know,
But it was
so,
still
like,
a great game. Like
it was a great game.
It's an awesome game. I was a PC gamer prior to that. I was playing Unreal Tournament and stuff, and when Halo came out, I had to get an Xbox, and that got me right back to playing console again.
It was one of my favorite games, especially how the story was told, you know, in chunks and flashbacks, and they kind of intermingled together, and the different characters that you played as throughout the game. You know, I definitely liked ODST better than Reach. Reach was a bit of a slow burn kind of, and then at the end you knew what was kind of going to happen.
Because
this
like,
isn't going to end good.
It's like it's kind of like how, you know, they had Star Wars, you know, with, you know, Luke and Darth Vader, and then you have episode 1, 2, and 3. You're like, yeah, you kind of know what's gonna happen because you've already seen the other ones.
Exactly. Yeah.
I loved Halo 2 the best. That was like one of my
a lot of people
favorites.
say that. A lot of people say that.
Halo 2 is probably my favorite too, and the reason why I say that is because Halo 2 was the first console online experience that I ever had. On the console, I'm going to be specific there, and that's where I got a lot of my skills from, is just playing people online all the time, and eventually I just started dominating at some point, and that's how I got a lot of my first-person shooter skills back in the day. It was through Halo 2 Online. Halo 3 was cool too, but Halo 2 Online was perfect. And before that, Wolfenstein, Return to the Castle Wolfenstein, that came out in 2001. That was my first true online experience with first-person shooters. But you know, another thing that a lot of people don't realize about Halo, at least the first one, is that it came out for the computer at some point in like the early 2000s.
Yeah.
The modding capabilities, the things that people modded on that game was absolutely astounding. Like how detailed they were into the game to where it looked better than the original Halo.
Really?
Yeah.
I was playing on hacked servers. It was called X-Link Kaya, and you can do your so I was playing Halo 2 doing we're making our own maps and just tons of mods. You could do flying around. It was just like everything was just badass playing on X-Link Kaya, and it's still going to this day. If you want to play Halo 2, you can go on X-Link Kaya and play it on there. But oh my god,
nice.
The mods and cheats, check it out.
And you can play it online, and there's still
you have to hook up to your network, and then you have to use your PC, have the software on there, and what it does, it pulls the online. Basically, it looks like it's an old LAN party, but actually you're playing online. How it works.
Okay. Neat.
So I know we have another member here, Chichuki. I don't know if you have any questions for Black Pokemon Trainer. I don't want to exclude you out, man.
That's all right.
See you got some questions for you.
I know most of what Black Pokemon Trainer is probably going to answer as well. But let's see. No, I disagree with Gen 3 being the best Pokemon game. I think Gen 2 is the best Pokemon game, but we don't.
Gen 2 is great.
I gotta go with Chichuki on that one, man. I loved Gen 2. I love Gen 2. Gen 2 was my favorite too.
I love Gen 2 too. I have absolutely nothing against Gen 2. It's like I actually recently beat Gen 2 again on Pokemon Crystal. That was real, honestly, I had more fun playing Pokemon Crystal than I did Sword and Shield when playing through the story.
I can see that.
And I didn't realize how much how how captured into the game I was gonna get, because eventually, because like the reason why I started playing Pokemon Crystal on the 3DS emulator is so that I can get a shiny Celebi and then transfer it over.
Right.
But I didn't realize
right.
like, you know, like, oh my God, like this story is actually not bad. Like I haven't played it since, you know, I was a kid. So like as an adult, like I'm actually like looking into things a little bit more deeper. I'm like, okay, I see this, I see that. Like I want to play some more. Like I actually want to get through this game. And I found a new love for it, playing it more as an adult than I did as a kid.
And I totally agree with that, where when you play it as when you're younger, you're just playing. Like there's no real like kind of thought process, like this is Pokemon, just gonna play. But when you go revisit it as an adult, you're like, dude, there's this, and you have so many more, and you're more knowledgeable in games. So then when you go back and play a game like Pokemon, one of the older ones, you're just like, yo, man, like my mindset is totally different going into this game, where I'm playing in a different way than I was when I was a kid. I think the one thing I won't go back to Crystal, because I know that I want to get a Lugia, and you have to get that Silver Wing, and that was the hardest thing to get in Crystal. I remember that, and I struggled, and I ended up getting them, but I was like, yo, never again am I gonna.
I mean, now in Pokemon Sword and Shield, you can just do some Dynamax.
It's too easy, yeah. But then now it's too easy. It's too easy mode now. But I you know, they make it accessible for everybody, I guess. So, I don't know.
So I have a question for all you guys. If you guys are into Pokemon, what is your favorite Pokemon? And we are excluding Pikachu.
Damn it.
Everybody loves Pikachu. Don't get it twisted. I love Pikachu, but
Pikachu's
outside
cool,
of Pikachu,
but he's not. Yeah.
Outside of Pikachu, like, what do you guys like?
Are you giving us one Pokemon to choose, or it's just like?
If you have
because I got a list.
He said he had a list.
I had a list. You want to know?
I like
my favorite
Machamp.
Pokemon.
But okay,
Machamp's probably my favorite as far as the look of him and stuff like that. From Gen 1. Which that's about the extent of my Pokemon knowledge. So I'm here to learn.
I mean, you have to cram in a lot of years, my guy. But Gen 1, if you have Gen 1, that you have the basic sounds, which is what really matters.
Yeah.
Good. I can still save myself. I can still become the Pokemon sort of master.
I'm gonna go last because I got a couple that I switch out once in a while.
I could probably give like 2 or 3 for each gen if I not in this list, but Squirtle's always been my favorite. Then I like Heracross and Totodile and Houndoom. That's probably my top 4.
Nice. Okay. I know all those Pokemon too is exciting because it's the first 2 gens.
Well, I could give other gens, but I'm not going to. So.
Oh my gosh.
I'm still thinking.
See, for me, like it always changes because it's always like one day I'm like, cool, I like Hitmonchan, Hitmonlee, and all the Lees, but that variation. But then I'm like, the next day I'll like this. So I guess I'll give my top 5. I guess Lugia's one of them. Rayquaza, Hitmonlee, Scizor. God, there's just so many. And then there's the new ones, which is I like Corviknight. Corviknight's a really cool design Pokemon. Sir Farfetch'd was like an awesome redesign of a Pokemon I couldn't care less of. And then when they brought him back in Sword and Shield, I'm like, I gotta get this Pokemon. Like first run, I have to get this Pokemon, and then get the leak so you can evolve into Sir Farfetch'd, which was cool. There's so many, but that's my there's so many Pokemon I like that didn't make the cut in Sword and Shield too, but it's whatever. I'm not gonna be that person that's gonna say free the Dex. I'm not gonna go there.
It'll happen eventually. Give it another year.
I started to replay Pokemon more recently because I was watching a lot of BlackPKMNTrainer, and I used to play back in the day. Got really into it. I'm still the very last thing. I have to get back to it so I can beat Leon. But if anything, I have I always loved Charizard, but the more now, right now, I like, if I'm saying it right, Inteleon is who I like.
Oh, nice. Okay.
I like him a lot. He's just dope, and just the way he moves and acts, and he's like a little conceited, but he does his thing. But after that Charizard, and I used to have a Charizard card, and then my brother, I don't know how he took it and sold it for $500.
Oh, dude, you know what? When the card game came out in like the late 90s, it's like what, 99, something like that. I had a friend that worked at GameStop at the time, and she got me the original box set of the Series 1 cards. It actually had a Machamp like cellophane wrapped hologram, and all the first series, and a map, and stuff like a mat to play on. And I don't have it anymore, and I hate to think how much those cards would be worth today.
A lot.
Right.
A lot. Like,
Don't tell me.
I have when I used to work at Toys R Us, they used to give out these limited edition cards, but they were the first generation cards, but they had the Toys R Us brand on it. But that was only because you can only get them at Toys R Us. So when I worked there, I worked at the electronics department. So I can say this now because I don't work there anymore and the store is gone. I used to like put some cards to the side for myself, or people knew me enough where they were like, they would hit me on the radio. They're like, yo, David, we got the new the Pokemon cards that we're doing for our event. I was like, all right, cool. And they were like, yeah, we have we'll put some away for you. I mean, we talking about? Like, I'm not taking these freaking cards, but they would put those cards aside for me because they knew I collected stuff like that. So I still have them too. But I tried to see how much they're worth, but they're not worth much. I think I saw one was like $35. So I was like, no, I'm just gonna hold on to it.
I mean, for one card, that's a lot when you consider how much you probably paid for it. The market value on it is that's still quite a bit.
I got it for free, so I didn't pay anything. I didn't pay anything.
Well, then that's even better.
I didn't pay anything for those cards.
That's one thing I regret is like I remember back when I was like before I moved to where I live now, I had a ton of Pokemon cards, and the one thing I regret is selling them, because I sold them for about $100. Because I had a lot of holograms, a lot of rare ones.
$400?
Yeah. I was moving away. I needed money, and like I was trying to help my parents out, and like I regret it now because like I'm like on Facebook, like on like OfferUp and all this other stuff, and like seeing how much these cards are going for. I'm like, I had this one card in here, and you telling me I can get over $600 for it?
Dang.
Do you guys remember when Pokemon 2000 came out? For like everyone who was into Pokemon, like when Pokemon 2000 came out,
the movie?
Yeah, and I remember I was at ironically the Toys R Us I worked at was where the Toys R Us I was at. I just went there to go play Dreamcast, got a Dreamcast machine and the console there. And one of the workers came by and they're like, "Hey man, you into Pokemon?" I'm like, "Yeah." And they're like, "Here you go." And they gave me an unknown. I didn't know what it was. Like, I was clueless because the movie hasn't come out yet. And I think Gen 2, the show hasn't even didn't introduce unknowns. They were only in the movie. So I had no idea who this card was. And then so I would go around, you trade with people, try to get certain stuff. And I was like, "Hey, I have an unknown." And someone turned around, was like, "You have a what?" And I was like, "I have an unknown." I have an unknown card. And then they were like, "I'll give you this for it." And another kid was, "I'll give you this for it. And I'll give you this." And I was like, I don't know what this card is. Why is everyone freaking out over this card that has an eye on it? And I think my dad knew nothing about Pokemon, but my dad knew the rarity of it. My dad was like, "Don't you dare trade it to anybody. Because you hold on to that card as long as you can." Oh man.
Oh yeah.
You know what? I want to ask, out of your your time doing what you're doing in terms of with streaming, do you have one of your most proudest moments if you've had?
Ooh. Okay.
Whether it was while you were streaming or something that happened because of what you're doing.
I'm honestly getting into tears thinking about this. Like there's two separate things that happened. This is after I became Black Pokemon Trainer. One of my viewers, it was his birthday, and this is around the time the coronavirus started. It was his birthday, and like his sister reached out to me through Instagram, asking me to record something for her little brother, like saying happy birthday. He was 6 or 7. And like the fact that, that his sister like knew about me and knew that her little brother watches me, and that she reached out to me through Instagram and asked me like, hey, my little brother watches you a lot. Can you like record him like a little happy birthday video? And like it literally like had me, I was like tearing up. And it was a humbling moment because like it kind of made me realize that, when I get on here, like when I stream, like somebody's watching, like somebody's appreciating me, and that I could possibly I could be making someone's day better. And like honestly, it teared me up, and I feel like an array of just positive emotions, and it honestly is what persuaded me like to keep going and like to not give up. And then like a couple of months down the road too, I was like, I posted something on my personal Facebook about like, a milestone that I made when streaming. I think it's when I hit the 1,000 subscriber mark. And one of my coworkers like recognized my channel, or one of my former coworkers recognized my channel because her son watched it. And she was able to recall a couple of my shiny reactions. And it was just another humbling moment, like oh wow, like now like I'm to the point where like one of my former coworkers, like her son's actually like watching me, and like I'm doing something right, because like like people are starting to reach out to me, be like, hey, can you do this for me? Like, hey, my son watches you. And like I don't like even to this day, like I'm still speechless trying to describe it and like to accurately describe how I felt. But something I do know is that it felt good to know that I'm impacting someone's life in a positive way.
Very cool. Very cool.
Awesome, man. That's very good. Very good.
And then I have like all my other milestones, like, oh yeah, I got 6,000 views on this, 5,000 views on that. But that's I mean, even though like all those are cool, like they never brought me to, they didn't bring me to tears, like actual interactions with people and how like knowing how I'm affecting people.
Yeah, I think that's always cool when you get positive reinforcement that, okay, I'm on the right track. Either that's from, someone reaching out to you off of, YouTube or somewhere else, or you see a comment that says, hey, this is cool. Or you see a comment from a parent that says, hey, you're doing something that's different from all this other YouTube stuff that is family friendly, that everyone can enjoy, even though we don't want 12 or 6-year-olds to watch our stuff because we're gonna get hit with the YouTube whatever. But we still, but just to hear, something like that, I think to hear from parents, to say from a parent or from a sibling that has a younger brother or sister reaching out and saying that, you're doing something here, it definitely gives you that fire just to say, all right, I want to hear more of that. So you just keep doing what you're doing.
Another thing that kind of hit me, and like I didn't really see it, because like when you're like on YouTube and you're talking to your viewers, a lot of them don't use their real picture. So you have absolutely you have absolutely no idea like what your real viewership is. But like after like being on Discord and like having like one-on-ones with people, I have a lot of Black viewership, which I was very surprised, and I shouldn't be. I mean, it's in my title, Black Pokemon Trainer, but like just having like a lot of people reach out to me and like seeing what people do. And like yeah, man, like like I don't really see like a lot of Black streamers out there, so like it's nice and refreshing, like seeing like someone like plays the same game that I do, like, and like that's the same color that I am, because like I get, like, someone told me they got made fun of because like they like Pokemon, and I'm like, no, that's nothing you should make fun of. I'm 30 years old. I love Pokemon.
Heck yeah.
And like there's another guy, he was like on the fence of like about streaming, and like he made a Twitch channel and he started streaming, and like he thanked me because he felt like seeing me motivated him to get on Twitch and start doing something with his channel. And like every time I go to his channel, like he's doing something on Twitch, he's doing very well. Like he's doing really good. So like, just being able to see that, in the like that when I talk to people in the Black gaming community specifically, that I'm inspiring people to either, to get up and like stream themselves, or like just being able to just provide entertainment.
Awesome.
Very good. That's very inspiring. It seems like for the people on the chat, us, you inspire us directly. That's why I wanted to bring you on here. I saw the changes you were making. We've talked about some of the stories you mentioned, and like, man, like this guy deserves it. We got to bring him on and get to know him more, and just kind of, it's like, again, we're doing a lot of like voice actors, but I wanted to appreciate the people behind some of the streaming, like yourself, and I'm glad to have you here, dude. Very glad.
Yeah, of course. And like, don't get me wrong, I'm recognizing what you're doing with your channel too. I see you coming through with different guests, whether if they're voice actors, yes, but they're voice actors from many different ways. You had CEOs come on, or former CEOs of video game companies that were on here. And I'm seeing the changes that you make. I'm seeing how you're interacting with people and the little things you're doing to, make your channel better. That's the thing about growth, is like, if something's working, it's great, but how can you make it better? If something's not working, what can you do to fix it?
It's definitely kind of the pandemic made me decide. I was doing Mr. Switch and 10 Part of Life, and I felt like it's like a big plateau. I wasn't moving nowhere. And I told myself I shouldn't worry about that. Oh, who's subscribing or not. So then something else popped in my head. And, as we were all feeling isolated, especially in April 13th, it just popped up and I just started doing this. And I never had voice actors in my mind or things like that. And even now I'm recently talking to some from the 80s, some movie actors. Let the guy I was mentioning, Shredder, I forgot his name. He did Shredder from Turtles, and other people. It's just like slowly things are climbing and it's fun, but I don't want to just skyrocket on the way. I want to go back to like the new year, go back to some, like slow pace. Like next week, we're crazy busy Tuesday through Friday. I don't want to keep doing that. I want to slow down. I like growing, and I don't want this channel just about me anymore. I want it to be about us. People who are with us. I want it to be about Awaken Bacon, about Atari X, Chichuki, One Up Level Up, Kotetsu, and about you today. And if when you come by, like it looks like you'll be joining us next week. It's about how we come together and we bring the communities of our own. We bring it together. It's fun. And I think for me playing the whole time, I love Mario Kart and I miss it. So I'm sure I'll be doing something soon with Mario Kart, but it's every once in a while. Other than that, the podcast it's got a nice growth to it, and I don't know. It's just I look at it now. It's just I ain't trying to worry about how do you say I'm gonna get 1 million subscribers overnight or anything like that. I just want to keep doing this. We had I'm still communicating with John Stocker, the voice of Toad, who's director of Sailor Moon, voice director Sailor Moon, and he's coming back on the 18th. So if you got these guys coming back, it's like it's cool, and we got you came back, like you were a member, and now you're here and you're busy, you're doing your thing. We appreciate you so much, and I appreciate everybody here today.
Yeah, of course, dude. Thank you for having me on. I really do appreciate it. And I miss coming in. I miss coming in here every once in a while and like being like, what up? So
we got some Zelda fanatics, Zelda voice actors next week. See what's up. If you want to jump in with us?
Oh yeah, for sure. All right, guys. I have another question for you guys, because you guys know some of my favorite series. Pokemon, Zelda, Dark Cloud, Final Fantasy, Resident Evil. What are some of you guys' favorite series, video game series?
I think
I'd have
mine
to
already.
I'd have to go with Resident Evil. Like Resident Evil was something that really carved a path for me, the beginning of the survival horror genre, even Resident Evil, Dino Crisis, Silent Hill, you go all the way up, to today, where you can find, especially on Steam, a plethora of survival horror games, indie games that people, small companies have made that are actually really, really good, that wouldn't have been possible if it wasn't for Resident Evil. And all the games that followed, it's like the first one was my favorite. I can't think of one outside, especially in the main series, that I didn't enjoy. I mean, if we want to go into the Umbrella Corporation and Resident Evil Survivor, maybe not so much. But all the other games in the series where I could always enjoy, and it affected me in a certain kind of way. It brought out certain feelings. That it was like watching a good movie. I was
going to ask you, like, what was your favorite Resident Evil game?
4.
Okay.
4, I don't
4
know.
was good.
4 was great,
good.
but like I like Nemesis really well. That was the third one.
That was 3, yeah.
Code Veronica was it was okay. It dipped on 5. 5 was fun, but 6 was kind of lost it for me. But 7 kind of brought it back.
7 was good. I like
7's real good.
I'm like, I respect people who like 7. For me, it was like I'm one of those people who are like, okay, you kind of flipped it on me 100%. I wasn't ready for it, and because you flipped it on me, I wasn't a big fan, because it felt more like you said, it took away from the whole zombie niche that they had, and they went for like this eerie, weird family trying to murder you who's weirdly infected by whatever the heck. And I thought 8 was going to kind of bring us back to what it was, but 8's like a continuation from 7. So it's like it's hard for me to get excited for 8.
They're trying to grow with, everything has, especially if you have a series as long running as that, which, I mean, Resident Evil isn't as long running as, say, Mario or Zelda, but the zombie genre is absorbed, it's packed,
That's 100% true.
Everything that you're gonna kill that is a zombie. So it's like, back then in 96, it was new, it was exciting, and then you go on, and then you have more of the infected humanoid type people. 7 to me was really kind of the first one. First they went first person, and then they never had like that underground lab, which is in every one of them. It starts out as a horror game, then you wind up in a high-tech lab at the end of it.
Right?
That's so true. That's so true.
So it was kind of cool to get out of the lab and just be in the swamp, or how
even the tanker, which was like technically like their underground lab, didn't really give you that much of a feeling.
Right.
Yeah.
Should I play 7? You guys recommend it? I'm
Absolutely.
at 7.
Yeah, I'd recommend it too.
I was playing 5, but then 5 I just walked away from it.
5 was a little bit of, well, if you didn't like 5, you definitely won't like.
You're not
6.
gonna like 6.
Yeah,
they turned into.
I finished 6, but I did it too fast, and I didn't get nothing out of it.
They turned it from lessons to a horror to more of an action sci-fi.
Yeah, everyone
thriller.
said that. It like
So 7's
I
better.
thought it was cool.
Yes,
I thought it was. I liked 6. I enjoyed 6. I loved 5. 5 was. I think 5 was, to me, was probably the longest Resident Evil game I played, because it just, when you feel like it's gonna end, there's just more. And it's like,
I want to play it
going.
with somebody. That's why I don't want to play by
And
myself.
Resident
5
Evil
was the
5,
first one that had the couch co-op.
Yeah.
Resident Evil 5 is always better when you play with someone.
Yeah.
Playing Resident Evil 5 by
that's why I
itself,
can't
like, just almost
Yeah.
kills it. And like maybe like I feel like I got through Resident Evil 5 fairly quickly, and every time I replayed it after that, because every time I replayed the game, there's another gun that I had that had unlimited ammo at some point.
Yo, play that game. Me and my cousin did this. We say, yo, we're gonna play this game on the hardest one, no unlimiteds. So we're like, all right, let's do it. We didn't realize how hard that was until we started doing it. We're like, I have no bullets. okay, we need to run.
It's,
Get your knife.
it's,
Get your knife
we
out.
need to run.
it's super realistic because like they're dropping less bullets and like like someone like pokes you and like you're already in danger.
Yeah, I think that's why I don't like.
He's like,
That's why I can't finish the Resident Evil 2 remake, because it's like I run out of ammo and I'm screwed until I go find somewhere else. I'm like, I can't go there because I don't have any ammo, so I can't get through there. And I hate the freaking tyrant that they added who makes you backtrack, and then you got to go back and go to yourself.
Oh, Mr. X is awesome.
Yeah.
Oh man, I
can't,
wish.
no.
Is there a chat on here? Let me see.
No. But,
Hold on. Let me see if I can find this video.
but I think there's so many genres I love out there, so many video game genres I love out there, but
True.
Final Fantasy will always be the one that no matter what Final Fantasy comes out, I'm always
All right.
I never question.
I
never
loved Final Fantasy up until 13.
And I get that.
13,
I get that.
I liked 15, 14 and 14 and 11 were the onlines, right? Or 12.
Yeah.
11
Yeah.
and 11 and okay.
Yeah.
So 15 kind of won me back, because I like really I love the series. I've played everything, and I think I mentioned it before. A lot of it had to do with like the architecture and the look of the game.
Yeah, I think you did mention
gameplay and the characters and kind of the callbacks that were in every game. But when 13 hit, I tried. I gave it my all, and something about it just didn't sing to me.
13 took me a while. Like once I got like to like chapter 11 of 13, I was like, that's where like it just kind of just died for me. It's already a super linear game.
And then it was the only game that got 2 sequels.
Yeah.
The sequels, I'm like, no.
Yeah, like that's the one thing when I was like, I didn't understand 13-2, and then of course they had to like explain what happened to Lightning after she fought what's his name, and then they gave us Lightning Returns. But
sorry guys,
but I haven't watched it yet. I haven't watched it. I saw it in there, but yeah, like no matter what, and I can, and what Awaken Bacon said, like when he was talking about how the whole zombies things is just being such a overused idea and everything, and they're kind of going to this new kind of this new thing now. Oh, is that your?
Are you showing it?
It was just like
you guys need to watch this.
Let me try to turn up all the volume up.
Let's watch this. I'll finish my thought. Wait, is this a skit? Are you having a Oh, dude. Okay.
This is me like reacting to Mr. X.
No,
like,
I think I saw this. I was watching this. I was there for that.
Okay, here you ready? Here we go.
Play it. Yeah, play that. I think I was there for that. Yo, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I did a Resident Evil stream a long time ago. It was Resident Evil Revelations 2, and I played that entire thing, and everyone loved the fact that I was reacting to every single thing that happened to that game.
He is so intimidating.
I like Revelations too. I always forget about the Revelation games. They were really good.
They were good ones. They were episodic. The second was episodic, but it was still good. But going back to what I was saying with Awakening Big, where he was saying, with 7 and 8, they're kind of evolving. I feel like that's with Final Fantasy. They're making it more of an immersive experience by you having control of those characters. And I was so glad they did it with 7, where they turned it into, and it's an action, yes, it's an action RPG, yes, but you don't understand there's still a tactical, there's still you having to play tactically with these enemies. Like there's certain enemies that they'll have more stagger damage if you throw fire at them, or you throw electricity at them, or you have to do heavy attacks besides light attacks. There's still that element of tactical RPG in there, or strategy RPG in there, and to the point where, and it was just such a well done game. So I can't wait for part 2, and I cannot wait for Final Fantasy 16. Because I remember when it was first announced, I was like, yo, this is Final Fantasy. This is crazy. And then being very privy to the lore and the worlds of Final Fantasy, I'm trying to picture where this Final Fantasy is, because it looks like it's in the realm of Final Fantasy Realm Reborn, just with all the kind of the knights, and they have the all the chocobos like armored out, and just how the game looks in general. But no matter what I'm playing and no matter what I'm doing, once they say, hey, we got a new Final Fantasy coming out, I drop everything. When Final Fantasy 7 Remake came out, I was working on like 3 or 4 games. I'd put everything down and I just like sat there. I think if we didn't go through what we're going through now, I probably wouldn't have spent a whole week just sitting there playing through Final Fantasy 7 all the way through and being like, yo, I want to play this game again.
Yo, like I honestly stopped streaming when Final Fantasy 7 Remake came out.
Same.
Was it that good, guys? Was it good?
Oh my
super
god.
fun.
Okay.
Yes.
I think if
Such a good game.
if you're a Final Fantasy player that played 13 and 15 before the 7 remake, you would know that they took their most recent games and they took whatever the best qualities from those games, added some more, took the best qualities from the Final Fantasy 7 stories, twisted it a little bit, put that all in the pot, and then they reformulated it like 20 million times to get the great product that they did.
There's
they
more
really
coming.
There's one more part coming after, and that's when because like they even said it. They said they're breaking it up into 2 games. Like the first game was
like 5 games or something.
no, people
God.
would not be okay with that.
Yeah, they're breaking up into 2.
They were kind of not very happy with it being broke up into 2 games.
Oh, yeah, they are not thrilled with
like
it being 2.
when they first talked about it, which was like what 3-4 years ago, they were like, it's gonna be episodic, and I'm like, okay, so we're gonna have like 3 or 4 parts. All right, we have to pay for each part. Okay, but then they're like, no. Then they're saying we're going to break it up into 2 games, and I get it, because it's if we're what they can do right now for this current gen, and I'm pretty sure this is coming out for the next gen, so they can like completely just do more with ray tracing and the lighting. Like if you see games in ray tracing now, like I have my Xbox and I bought Avengers again for my Xbox because I love the game. So I bought it for my Xbox. And I'm like comparing the graphic, like how they look. And this isn't even the optimized version, but you can tell the difference between some of the lighting and the how everything's a little bit more detailed because you can see it. So to imagine Final Fantasy 7 Remake Part 2 on the PS5 is going to be insane. It's gonna look really cool. So I guess I can say for them having 2 parts, it still kind of makes me have more enthusiasm and hype for this title.
I think they did. I'm gonna end with this. They did part 1 well, because it gave you a lot more. It gave you a little bit more in depth. And then they ended it with Sephiroth being the final boss, rather than like if they went to the traditional route with Final Fantasy 7 and that big machine being the final boss before you leave Midgar, that would have left people with like a bad taste in their mouth. But they added a bunch of Bahamut's and then they added Sephiroth, which made it a little bit more epic. And I feel like if they didn't do that, the game would have rated a little bit lower.
Yeah, I agree. With 9 and 10 weren't really on the level. I mean, they were. I love 9 and 10, but do you think they'll give the remake treatment to possibly 8 as well?
No,
because I don't think 7 had such a huge impact for a game of its time, such a huge impact, and still like when you ask someone what's your favorite Final Fantasy game, 9 times out of 10 you're gonna hear 7, and
or 3, which was 6. I think
yeah,
for maybe older people.
So
But
like
9 was, I mean, Squall is almost as big as Cloud. You know, you hear a lot about him even still. You know, you kind of see it on T-shirts and stuff like that. You know, maybe kind of riding the coattails of 7 at the time, but I mean, it was major.
Yeah, I think they knew that they have a huge cash cow if they did Final Fantasy 7, if they remade Final Fantasy 7. Huge cash cow. I know we're getting to that point. Does anyone else have any talk about any
real quick
genre games or anything like that?
I just want to say fast. I love a lot of series like I mean, Final Fantasy. I grew up with 7. You know, like I love Zelda. You know, but for me, the most wanted, the one I'm crazy about, some of you guys might know, is
I know you're gonna say it.
Metroid Prime series.
I saw it coming. I saw that coming too.
It's tripping me out right now.
I saw that tweet. I saw that tweet.
Yeah, the Game Awards gave us nothing again. And look, they've been working on it enough to at least give us a picture of her naked or something. I don't know. She's gonna be undressed at the end of the game or
hey, bro, play Cyberpunk.
Right.
I just got that too.
If you want that, go ahead, jump into Cyberpunk, bro.
I'll be waiting until after. Well, that's the thing. My son is turning 18, and
oh God.
And he's turning 18 on January. So I got him the game, but I didn't know what the game is doing. Since this is not a show for kids, I'm gonna say my dad's like, hey dad. I mean my son's like, he's hey dad, do you know you can change the size of your penis on there? I was like, what? I was like, really? Why would that game even give you that option for? And I talked to my brother, you can change, this other sizes of this and that. Like, damn, this game is just crazy.
Like, no,
it sounds cool, futuristic of what you can turn into. And like, I'm excited for the game, but not because of that. Just because it's Keanu Reeves is awesome. I found even I don't want to say. Damn, I don't know. I don't think my son's watching, but I got a lot of extra stuff for the Cyberpunk series and things like that. Not just the game, so it came in like a pack of stuff.
Did you say you got some action figures?
Man, dude, what? He's watching.
Oh shit! Sorry,
I don't think he's watching. I don't think he's watching. He don't watch my. He doesn't have his phone. His mom took it away, so he watches.
Anyone else? We have Switch hates Metroid. Do you have anything?
Metroid,
You have any games you out there? Switch hates Metroid.
Yeah.
Oh man, I just want something. Give me something.
What are we talking about?
Like any your favorite game genres, like any favorite game genres.
I go with Ultima on the Atari.
Yeah, you've been putting a lot of stuff in our chat.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, I'm like,
that was like, I don't even use that
here's a link.
So.
Check it out. So I'm like, games I say, you guys like, what? I wasn't even born then. So I'm like, here you go. I wasn't born researching a little bit.
Let's see. Mario.
I remember Exodus 3 the most. Because if you get into RPG games, this is where they came from. It
really is. It kind of laid down the blueprint for a lot of later games.
Mm-hmm.
Go with 3.
Oh my god, that's like super retro.
Yes. Well, that's me.
That's older than me.
Yeah. Right. Oh my god.
You like? Okay.
I feel sorry for people.
Skeleton.
But you got to keep in mind.
That's crazy though.
You got to keep in mind though, when I first started playing, I was just playing simple Pac-Man games. There was no story to a game whatsoever. So when you got this game, this is the first game that gave you a story, and and that's what started these games. I'm telling you, it's funny to look at.
I'm sure people had a blast playing this. I'm sure people had a blast playing that.
Oh, back in the day when, I remember I was 7 or something, about this time. But I remember watching a friend of mine's dad play it on his computer and being like, wow, because I was still, I had the Atari and, like X said, they no story at all. It's like, and I didn't know about text-based games, which were really the first games that had stories to them, but it was all text-based. So I was playing Pac-Man and Maze Craze and Combat and stuff like that, where you just kind of went around and did your thing. But when I went over and I saw, my friend's dad playing that, I was like, whoa, what is going on here? It kind of blew my mind. The same way, years later when I was like, 15 or whatever, and Doom came out. you know, and it was, you know, how it was. I was like, dang, you know, and then here we are today, and everything looks amazing. And
Yeah.
Doom is one of my favorite shooters of all time. Like when I say Doom, I'm talking about Doom 1, 2, Final Doom. One of my favorite one of my favorite shooters of all time.
yeah, I mean, I had the shareware version when it, you know, of Doom 1 when it first came out, you know, when you got it for free, and or the first 3 levels of it. That's what I first played. That was my first experience with the first person shooter, you know, and you had to find the secret doors and stuff. Kind of opened up a whole new world, you know. Now we have Doom Eternal.
Yeah,
oh my God, that is crazy.
Awesome soundtrack though. I'll give it to them. Awesome
Definitely.
soundtrack.
I did like the Doom 2016 better.
Yeah,
Okay.
I just played it recently. I don't know which is better, but I did enjoy that. Like I have more playtime in the 2016 version.
Yeah, I think a lot of my playtime in 2016 stemmed from multiplayer though. I think that's why I liked it better, because their multiplayer options are better in my opinion.
Yeah, it was fun.
Chichuki, you said you had a favorite game genre. I thought I heard you said it was Mario. You said?
Yeah, I was gonna say Mario, Mega Man. Those are pretty much my 2.
Yeah,
I love Mega. I'm still waiting for him to do a whole Mega Man, a brand new Mega Man on the Switch with the Mega Man 11 treatment, full on reworked Mega Man X game. I'm waiting for that. Still holding on to hope for that.
Well, you'll be waiting a long time for that, bro.
I know.
It may happen though.
I know.
Especially because 11 was utter ass. Let's just.
That game was so hard.
It was terrible.
All the Mega Man games are hard for me. I always love the look of Mega Man.
Hard.
I love the animation of Mega Man, but for me, my entire life, the hardest game that I've ever had to tackle was any of the pick one. Any of the Mega Man games.
11 is exceedingly difficult for no.
Yeah, it's so hard. So hard. Exactly. For no apparent reason. They say, this is our last Mega Man. Let's just have no one be able to beat it.
It's like
it was just like stupid hard.
Did you guys beat it? That's the question.
No. I didn't even buy it. I played the demo and I live streamed it. And I said, yeah, I'm not buying this game because I can't even finish the freaking demo.
You said you did beat it, Chuki?
I did, yeah.
Congratulations.
It is my least favorite Mega Man game, and it bothers the hell out of me.
It looks so good though.
I could tell at the demo too that it was going to be terrible.
He was raging. Yeah. Look at his wall. He's got a controller to the wall right now.
I could I played it. I played the demo at PAX. Couldn't get through it. Then I bought it because it's a Mega Man game, and that's just what you're going to do. Live streamed it. Couldn't get through it. Was so annoyed that I picked it up again the next day, and I had to beat it.
I think I remember seeing that.
It was annoying the hell out of me.
That is determination, sir.
Yes.
You win.
It's a horrible Mega Man game.
All right, guys, we are at that time. Again, thank you, BlackPKMNTrainer, for being here, man. Like we've all said, you have done an amazing job on your channel and finding your way. But before we end it, I know everyone knows where to find us, but where can everyone, I know it's in the descriptions, I'm sure it's in the descriptions, but where can everyone find you from your social media, on your YouTube? You know, where can they find you these days?
Yeah, I mean, I think the best thing to do is actually to go into the link, if it's in the description, go to my YouTube page, and from there,
your Twitter and your YouTube are in the description.
Oh, cool. Yeah, my Twitter is there, my Discord's there. You know, feel free to come to my Discord. I'm not gonna lie, when you guys come into my Discord, we're slightly inappropriate.
Can you send me the link to your Discord so I can add it right now?
Yeah, it's in I'll send it to you on Twitter. Okay. But like, yeah, like on my Discord, like we don't just talk about Pokemon, we talk about a lot of other stuff too. You know, the only thing I ask is just not to be like dirty or nasty or anything like that. And the reason why is because you got adults and kids in there, and that's just not fair. So, I mean, that's the only thing I ask, but like, you know, just be respectful. I don't mind cursing in the Discord. Just be respectful to everybody, and it's just a good time.
And does anyone have any last words that they want to say to BlackPKMNTrainer before we end out the night?
BlackPKMNTrainer, it was awesome to meet you. I know everybody else has met you before, but this is the first time I've gotten to meet you. You seem very passionate about what you're doing right now, and you can tell, and I love that. And just keep on doing what you're doing. And I'm gonna look up your channel after the show and subscribe to you. Absolutely.
Oh, Awaken Bacon. I want to congratulate you on hitting 500 followers on Twitch, my guy.
Oh, well, thank
Cool.
you, sir.
Awesome.
Yes.
I just followed you, so that's 500.
Oh, super cool. Super cool, actually. I knew I was getting close, but yeah, thank you, man. That's awesome. I'm probably going to stream after we get off here tonight. So if
Cool.
anybody's
Check it out.
not
Hey,
come by.
well, I'll do a retweet on that. Atari, you got something to say? Atari X?
Oh yes, it was awesome to meet you. I like the energy you give out, and now I never got into Pokemon, so now I'm gonna start getting into Pokemon. That's my goal now, because I feel so lost when you're about character. I don't even know one, to be honest with you. So now I'm gonna get into it.
I'm gonna take a page from Chichuki's book and say, if you're gonna start on Pokemon, Gen 2 is probably the way to go. Just get an emulator and then the ROM, and then just play Gen 2. It's a good start for anybody getting into Pokemon.
Yes.
Oh, you guys, you want to say something to?
No, you said my name like you were gonna say something to me. So.
No, sorry. Did you want to? Before I make my account.
Yeah, you know what? I started playing Rocket League today, and the thing that bothers the hell out of me is when you play online and the people they look like they've never played a sport game in their lives. These people, because we're playing 3-on-3, and they have you in the middle to guard the goal, and then you don't move, and if for some reason the other guys don't move either, so there's one of the two other guys is supposed to drive forward to be the forward, and you haven't moved for 5 seconds, and then they decide, I'm going to drive in reverse and guard the goal too. So
can you play one-on-one on that?
It's so annoying. It's so annoying.
You can't do one-on-one. I think you can only do up to 2-on-2.
No,
okay.
You can do one-on-ones. You can do one-on-ones on there. It's a one-track game if you can get past someone. So.
All right. I'm gonna leave my statement here. I want to make sure that I'm still working on T-shirts. They are coming on a little expensive, but I still want to make sure to thank in the description. Let me grab his name out real quick. For Phil Adams in Intellivision. I always let me get this on right. Always want to show my television T-shirt.
There you guys.
I got an television
wait.
AMICO coming out soon, and Intellivision AMICO's coming out in April, and I'll be showcasing the system too. Maybe prior to it, working on my reserves and all that and pre-orders and that's what it's something retro-ish for us to get to know. And everything information about Phil Adams or the Intellivision AMICO is in the description. Everyone's information everyone that was on right now is in the description. All your sites to your pages to all that good stuff. We also have Intellivision AMICO. We got Mason Conrad. I wanted to highlight him. I added him in the description as well. Mason has been designing a lot of my artwork for the longest time. And he's got a good pricing. He's very affordable. So if anyone is looking for some redesign art, thumbnails, etc., videos, intros, things like that, you want to go ahead and check him out. Ask him, see what prices he has. They're very good. I've been working with him a lot. I have made some of my own thumbnails. I've been doing some of those on my own, but he's helped me a lot of the way through. Also want to remind everyone with KOTETSU, I have his podcast, One Up Crew, his the link to that. Everything from our new member information to someone I definitely appreciate. One of my favorite YouTubers is Ray Strazes. I have him on there too. So just a little information about everybody there. So other than that, I do appreciate the opportunity that BlackPKMNTrainer has given us so that we can get to know him more. I wanted to appreciate him a lot, with what I've been seeing lately. I know he's been absent, but I know he's coming back soon. And whenever he can,
I'm trying to get on there at least once a week right now. I'm streaming tomorrow for sure. After I come back from the Bay Area, and I'm just doing like at least once a week right now, just so I can just stay in the know. But honestly, I need to put these games that I'm playing right now behind me.
I hear you. you already know what I'm gonna say, man. It's awesome getting to know you. You know, I know that you know, we talk to the side and you know want to get some stuff going, but I think it's gonna be cool when we get that. Also, I have a couple of other things I want to say before you end off. For One Up, what is the One Up Crew podcast? We are gonna have an end of the year podcast going. So this is our official invite to everyone here who wants to join us during that. We got a couple people. We have our group of people who are going to be coming on and joining us. So I am extending my invitation to everyone here who is on this podcast. If you want to join us, let me know. We'll get you guys on here. I think it's the 22nd. We're gonna
December.
get that. Yeah, December.
What is that?
22nd. I think it's like the next week. I think after we do the Friday thing, that's like the following week.
What time is
I think
that?
it's
Like in the afternoon?
We're gonna hash that out. I'm gonna hash that out with them this weekend, and we'll see where we get that. Also, guys, real quick, I want to give a shout out to Master Sword Music, TJ. He did an awesome remake of the Sephiroth theme after they did that announcement. He remixed that. It sounds amazing.
Yeah,
it's really cool. And make sure you guys go follow him and go check that out as well. But yeah, but without further ado, guys, this is the end. Thank you again, Black Pokemon Trainer. Thank you everyone for watching with us and hanging out with us and chatting, and everyone here. Atari X, Awaken Bacon, Chichuki, Mr. Switch, thank you. And that's gonna be it, guys. Hopefully you guys have a wonderful night, and we'll see you guys next week for our awesome week of interviews. It's gonna be really awesome.
Tuesday, Wednesday. I'll say
Have a good
really
night,
fast.
everybody.
Freaking schedule.
I'll say
I'm
really
gonna be
fast.
putting in some work.
Tuesday we got the shoot, what's the name? The voice of Rivali. I'm sorry, I forgot his name on Tuesday, and then the voice of can you guys say it again?
Mifa.
Mifa, gosh. Okay,
He's
time
on
out,
Wednesday.
time out. This is how you're gonna say it.
Mifa.
It's like you say me and you say fa. So
Okay.
MEFA.
The voice of Mifa would be
Mifa.
okay. The voice of Rivali on Tuesday. The voice of Mifa on
There you
Wednesday. That's Amelia Gotham. I can remember her name. And then on Wednesday we have the voice Larry, the voice of Lionel from the Thundercats.
Larry
That's
Kinney.
on Thursday. That's huge. Black, if you want to join us, let us know. For all the whole week. And then on Friday we have John Starker joining us for the holiday special greetings. You know, kind of chit chat about with him. If you guys have any questions for him, other than that, we'll all take turns and just wishing everyone happy holidays on the day on Friday for next week. I don't have anything planned for the rest of the year. I might pop up with something, but I want to slow down right after that Friday and just, you know, people are going to be busy on Christmas. It's on a Friday. I might just do a quick thing and maybe, who knows? I have no plans yet, but I'll definitely be joining Kotetsu for his plan for his podcast. So I'll make room for that. And then,
I'd like to be in on that too.
We'll get you guys. I'll hash everything out with them, and we'll get you guys that information as soon as possible. So
New Year's Day is on Friday.
If you're out here in California, we ain't doing a damn thing.
We ain't doing nothing.
Lock down.
New Year's Day is on a Friday too, I think. This year,
it is.
right?
So New Year's Day, we might. I don't have.
Oh man.
I might just do something on New Year's Day, maybe. But let's just plan. If anyone's got ideas, or if you're going to be hungover, let me know. Or partying.
Get you guys on
drinking.
here.
I don't even drink, so I'm good.
If you don't
Alright,
wake
you
up
guys.
hungover, are you living life?
No.
All right,
Either
guys.
way.
Well, this is the Gamerz Realm. Thank you guys for coming. Everyone have a wonderful night, and we'll see you guys next week.
Thank you, everybody.
Take care,
See you
guys.
guys.
Later.
All right, we are off the air.
All right. If we're
Alright.
gonna fix how you say me